Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is Kathy at Attic Treasures, etc. And I'm really glad you're here today. First of all, my desk is a disaster because I've been working on all these little tins for the tea party that's coming up later this month. But as I mentioned in my last video, one of the beautiful ladies has very low vision. So I wanted to take one of the tins and make it a music box for her. So that's what we're going to do today. I'm going to show you how to make a music box. So I got this little housing, and I'll put a link, or what do you even call these things? I don't know. The little movement piece. So I got this on Amazon, and I will leave a link to it in the video description below. So what it has a key. Get this open for you so you can kind of see everything that's here. So it has this key to wind it up, and then it has these 4 little screws. Now I was thinking about putting the movement in the lid, but if I did, I wouldn't be able to close the lid. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in the body or the base of the tin, and then the key is going to be on the underside of it. And to compensate for that so it will stand up, I went to Hobby Lobby and I got these little wooden things. They're from the wood pile section in Hobby Lobby, and these should allow the tin to sit in such a way that the key won't contact whatever it's sitting on. So it should be, these are taller than the key itself. So I'm going to paint these and then attach them to the bottom. But first we have to locate the musical part inside the tin in such a way that this part with the key won't interfere with it standing up on the legs. It won't interfere with the legs. So you can see that this part, which is where the key winds onto, screws onto, is taller than the rest of these little holes for the screws. So I'm going to locate it inside the tin, and the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to take this nail polish and open the tin, and I'm just going to put a little dab of nail polish on the bottom of this screw, and I'm going to locate it about right here. We'll go right here. Just press it down, and there it left that mark. So now I'm going to take this out, and my adorable husband is going to drill a hole right through that. So I'm going to have him do that, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so I have the first hole drilled. You can see right there, and you can see that there's a little bit of, you know, where the paper kind of came up. That's okay. We're going to cover it up on this side, and you don't have to worry about it on this side at all. But one thing to remember, or to take into consideration, on this threaded part here, at the bottom of it, there's a little bit wider diameter. And so your hole needs to be big enough to fit the wider diameter through. So the first time we did it, we just did it for the threaded part, but it didn't quite fit. So my husband drilled a slightly bigger hole by measuring this slightly larger diameter. Okay, so now to locate the rest of the holes, I'm going to put this in and attach the key. And it's slippery, so of course it wants to fight me. There we go. So I'm going to locate the key. There we go. And then I'm going to take this fine point Sharpie, and I need to locate 4 tiny holes. And so we're going to go this one here, and this one here, and probably 3 is going to be enough. and maybe even just 2. It's not going to move or go anywhere if it has 2 holes, 2 screws in there. Oh, here's one right here. I think. Let's see. I think I can get one right in there. So that'll be 3 holes. So then we just remove this again. And then I'll ask my husband to locate the screws, or locate these little holes in these 3 little spots. And what he'll do again is measure the diameter of the little screws here, and then that's how he'll know how big to make the holes. So I shall return in a moment. All right, so we're all set. I'm going to go ahead and take this all and kind of get rid of some of these shavings, just to kind of round out the holes a little bit. Get some of the metal shavings out of there. Now you could probably do this with an awl. I don't know. I don't know if you can or not, but if you have, a drill, obviously you can do it yourself if you're handy with that sort of thing. But my husband is more than willing to help. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is take some ink. I'm going to use maybe Vintage Photo. I'm just going to use some Distress Oxide here. And just kind of color up the holes a little bit, just so that they're, they blend in a little bit better. Okay, it's time to put the music box in. And I'm going to attach the key. And then we'll put the other little screws in. Okay, once again, my husband comes to the rescue, and he gave me this little screwdriver set to try out here. There we go. Success. Okay, now we just need to get the other 2, and I'll have one left over, and that should be fine. Okay. Okay, I got a couple of the screws in and the key. There's a problem with this screw. The hole for the screw to go into the musical movement is slightly too small for any of the screws. And I thought maybe it was just slightly mislocated, the hole that we punched in here, drilled. But when I pulled the housing out, or whatever you call it, and I tried to screw all of the screws into that one hole, none of them fit. So we are either going to have to find a slightly tinier screw than this one, or I will figure out a way to cover it up. So now why don't we go ahead and put the feet on. But first, let me let you hear it. Isn't that cool? I love it. Okay, so for the feet, I'm going to take 4 of these. And this is going to be a little bit of a process too. Okay. That needs to stop now. There we go. Okay, so it stopped. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint these gold. And first of all, I'm going to just paint around this collar right here. And I'm going to glue the feet on, and then I can hold the tin in my hand and paint the rest of the feet. So I'm just using some of this brushed metal acrylic paint, and the color is brushed antique gold because I thought it would go best with the gold accents. Oh, looks like it really needs to be shaken up because it looks a little green. This is what happens when you don't use your paints. Oh, there we go. Okay, that's better. So I just have this little brush, and I'm just going to go around this little collar on all these little feet. They're so cute. And then once I get all these painted and put on, then we'll just let it dry. Okay, so I think in the last video I told you that there was some weird stuff going on with the floor in our house. Well, it really was, and it got really bad. So my husband went into the house and discovered water, and so we called a plumber, and he discovered that it was a fitting on the top of the water heater, which is in the garage, tucked in a corner behind my pantry. So they share a wall. So the wall that the water heater's on and my pantry share that wall. But because of where it's located, and we have this reverse osmosis water filtration system, because the water here on Camano Island is horrible. I kid you not. It killed all my plants, and my cat wouldn't drink it, and oh, it's just terrible. So we had that water filtration system put in so that it's actually drinkable water. And anyway, so that was in front of the water heater. So we couldn't really see what was going on, that it was leaking. We had no idea. But we got it fixed as soon as we discovered what the problem was. It was fixed right away. So even though it's a 20-year-old water heater, so obviously we're going to have to replace it. But then we called in, our plumber suggested this company that could come in and do the remediation and the drying and all that stuff. And they came in and they started tearing out drywall and flooring, and oh, it's just a mess. And then they had these dryers going for 3 weeks. Well, like most of 3 weeks at 95 decibels. It was so loud, we couldn't even think. And we had visqueen hanging up to block off the area where those dryers were and where all that stuff was taken out. So the floors were taken out all the way from our front entryway, in front of the pantry, inside the pantry, and then around to where the entryway is from the garage, and so all of that's been torn up. So it all needs to be replaced. The problem is that the laminate that we put down is discontinued. And since the floor is continuous, we have to replace everything. So guess what? The insurance denied our claim. So it's all us. We're going to have to replace everything ourselves. And since we're going to replace everything ourselves, that means we have to empty every single room, including my craft room, which I can't even begin to tell you how distressing that is on many, many levels. I am in this room every single day, either doing work at my computer or working on my crafts or doing videos or whatever. And this room is jam-packed. So here's the thing. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get another video in before we have to dismantle the craft room and probably put it in a pod in the front yard while we do all the work. But I don't know if I'm going to get another video in before that. So if I don't, please be patient. I will eventually get it all put back together, but it's probably going to take the better part of a month just to do this room, to pack it all up. And those pods are incredibly expensive. We might have a different option, but we don't know yet. But anyway, so I'm going to let these dry, and then I will come back and glue the feet on, and then, you know what, actually, let me just clean off my brush, and then we can start decorating the inside of the lid while these are drying. So I'll be right back. All right, so in some of my tins here, I have the inside decorated really cute, but it's really dimensional. So you can probably hear that noise coming from just outside my craft room. That's my husband. He is building a catio, which is a patio for cats, so that when all this work is going on, the cat has some place to go so that she's not in the way and not too horribly stressed out. So he's like enclosing the entire front porch and making it her own little special place. Okay, so I hope that noise doesn't bother you too much. But anyway, obviously I can't do a lot of decorating on the inside of this lid that is dimensional like this, because we don't want to have anything that's going to interfere with this movement. So I'm going to maybe take some music sheet here and fussy cut that out or tear it, and then put some of this lace here, you know, just to give sort of a little collage. So let me work with that a little bit, and we'll see how that goes. I really like having the treble clef, so I'd like to keep that part if I can, but I also don't want to cover up all of the paper underneath it. So I'm thinking if I have anything dimensional, it can be on this side. So let me cut this out. Oh man, I cannot tell you how upsetting it is to think that I'm going to have to dismantle my whole craft room, because I mean, it's my office, it's my sewing room, and it's my, you know, my crafting place. Ugh. And to know that insurance is not going to cover it. So here's a heads up. Forewarned is forearmed. The reason they're not covering it is because they said it's a slow leak. And they don't cover slow leaks because for all of you that have x-ray vision, you're supposed to be able to see through the walls and see that that damage is taking place behind the walls in places you can't see. So how silly of you not to be able to see it. What is wrong? And that's not unique to State Farm either. So like a good neighbor, State Farm isn't there. Anyway, I've had State Farm for years, so I was extremely surprised that they wouldn't cover it. You know, we've never had a household claim before, ever. I had an accident claim when my daughter was in an accident, and this was years ago, and they were awesome about it. This happened when my youngest daughter was 8 years old, and she had glass. It's a long story, but anyway, she looked out the window right before the car sideswiped them, or not hit them broadside. And so that happened, and she looked outside just as the car hit. So she was in a booster seat, and she got glass in her face, and she almost lost her eye. So she had to have she had surgery and plastic surgery to fix it. And the insurance company was excellent. They did not make us settle until Brianna was almost 18. And this happened when she was 8. So if you think about that, that's pretty good. They checked in with me every once in a while, wondered how she was doing, and the settlement that we ended up getting was greater than if we had to get a lawyer, you know, after she turned 18. And so I just naturally thought, because they were so good about that, that they would cover this water issue. But apparently that is not unique to State Farm. Most insurance companies have a clause where, because we did some research on this, and most insurance companies won't cover it if it's a slow leak. If it's something sudden and catastrophic, then they will. Like for one minute your water heater is totally fine, and then the next minute, it explodes, and then you've got water everywhere. That they'll cover. But a slow leak that seeps into the floors and the walls, they're not interested in covering that. So technically it's still under review, but it's been over a month. It's not going to go anywhere. So we're making plans now. The priority, like I said, is for my husband to finish the catio, so little Miss Lizzie can be outside, and it's going to be really nice. We found some birch trees that some people had cut down. How did I have this? I don't remember. How did I have this? How did I put this in here, guys? You're probably yelling at me. Okay, we found some birch trees that some people had cut down in their yard. Oh, you know what? I'm going to cut this part off. There we go. I'll save that on something. So they had cut down these beautiful birch trees, and they had all these trunks and branches laying in their yard. So I asked them if we could have them, and they said yes. So we just brought our trailer over and loaded it up. So we're going to make cat trees and little cat steps and things with platforms and stuff like that. Oh, that's perfect. So that she has like this little playground inside the screened-in porch and a way to get out there. So that's the main priority right now. It can't really be, we have to get that done before anything else. Okay, let's put a little something. How about this? Come back here. That looks pretty. I wonder if I should put it up here. Everything is sticking to my hands now. Yeah, I think I'll put it right there. 6. Am I still in frame? I hope so. Yep. So anyway, he's almost done with it. And as soon as he's done with that, then we can start really figuring out what we're going to do flooring wise, and where we're going to start. Personally, I really want to start here in the craft room to get it over with. So that needs another little something. So like I said, I really hope you guys will be patient with me. I'll be, back in my craft room just as soon as I possibly can, but this is going to be quite the ordeal. Oh, here we go. This color. For those of you who have overstocked craft rooms, you probably know exactly what I'm talking about. Like, oh no, don't take my craft room away. Okay, you know what? This is adhesive back, so I'm wondering if it'll just stick right there. Okay, awesome. Okay, I'm going to see if I can find a little butterfly sticker or something to put right there, so I'll be right back. Okay, I have these stickers that I found at a garage store or a thrift store or something, and so I pulled out this one little butterfly, And I'm debating whether I want a fussy cut. I think I will. Just fussy cut around the little antenna. Oh, they just came right out. I didn't even have to do that. All right, now I am just going to put this little guy right there. And I'm going to call the inside done. I don't really want to add a whole lot more to it. If I have time before the tea party, I'm going to be making some little pendants out of these little jars because I thought I would put them inside the tins. But I haven't really, I mean, I've just, whoops, that one came apart. That one wasn't glued together. So I've just been sort of experimenting with them. I don't really have anything, you know, solid yet that I want to do with it, but I want to leave some room here. Okay, so let's see if we can put the feet on. I'm going to set this on top of this lace just to kind of cushion the top part. And I am going to use my Tim Holtz glue. This is Collage Medium, Collage Distress Medium. And this worked really, worked really well with the flat back pearls that I used for feet on the other tins, but those aren't tall enough. So for this tea, we're going to be buying all the ladies, and it's for all the ladies in our congregation that are 75 and older, because they are like our big sisters, and we just want to do something special for them to show how much we appreciate them. And so we're all going to be, there's 22 of them, and there's 22 of us that are putting on, you know, and arranging for this tea party. So we're going to buy each one of them a fascinator hat. So I don't know if you know what those are, but they're super cute. And probably we'll each be wearing one as well. So that's going to be fun. So it is, what's today, the 8th, and it's going to be on the 25th. So what's that, 3 weeks? Okay, so I'm going to let this dry, and then once it dries, then I can finish painting the legs. It's going to be so cute. Okay, I'm going to set this on here like that. Just let that sit there, and then I'll come back and finish painting the feet. So I will be right back. Well, it'll be right back to you. It might be an hour for me. Ta-ta for now. All right, so I think the legs are dry on here. Well, obviously they're nicely glued on. And remember that screw that wouldn't go through the hole? Well, I asked my husband if he could just cut the head off of one of the screws and I would glue it on. Excuse me, and he didn't think that that would be such a good idea, or even possible. So then I remembered I had some of the Tim Holtz hardware heads, and I took some of the foundry wax, and I'll leave links to this in the description below, and painted it because they're gray to start off with, and then just glued it on there, and I think it's good to go. I added a little bit more bling. Oh, it's playing. A little bit more bling in here because she does have low vision, so I wanted something bright that she could possibly see. And now I'm just ready to paint. Let's see, I want this to be cushioned. I'm going to put it on here. Actually, I don't need that. Okay, never mind. So now I'm going to take some more of this brushed metal. And this paint color, again, is Brushed Antiqued Gold. And I'm just going to paint the legs. And then once I do, then it'll be good to go. I'm still kind of deciding when we want to dismantle my craft room, because the thing is I really need my computer because I do a lot of work on it to help my husband with some of the things that he does for our congregation. And I'm going to need access to that. So I'm wondering if we could just take everything out except my computer desk and then maybe just work around that, because then I would have access to it still. So I'm kind of wondering about that. I don't know, the whole idea is giving me anxiety. I'm sure many of you can relate. Here, yeah, let's take your craft room apart and dismantle it and have it be out of service for a whole month. Okay, while we're at it, let's just cut out my heart. Ugh. Okay, well, anyway, whatever happens, it's temporary, right? That's what I keep telling myself. So how are you guys all doing? Have you ever dealt with a big issue like that where you had water damage that the insurance didn't cover? Let me know in the comments. In fact, just comment about anything. I love to read your comments. Kind of keeps me going. I like to see how everybody's doing. What crafts do you have going in your world? What are you working on? Anything special or fun? This has been a really fun project. I would love to make one of these for my daughter. If I could find a music, one of these little music movements with something from like The Little Mermaid or something, because she was in that when she was in kindergarten and she still sort of relates to Ariel. Okay, I'm going to let this dry and put another coat on it, and then I'll be right back. So, ta-ta for now. Okay, I have the legs on here now, and I have painted them, and I really, really like the way this looks, but I want to put one last finishing touch on here. I'm going to take this gold trim and wrap it around the top half. So I'm going to use my fabric scissors to cut the end off. Well, let's see, let's go to the other end. Okay, that actually looks okay. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take some Fabri-Tac and just carefully put a bead of glue. I'm going to be gluing and placing as I go. Then this will be done. So I hope that this will inspire you to make a music box. And like I said, I will leave a link to the music, and you can get different different pieces or songs. This one happens to be Fleur de Lis or Fleur de Lis. I don't know how to speak French, so I'm not sure. I'm probably not pronouncing it right. Fleur de Lis? I don't know. Anyway, it's a familiar tune that everybody knows. Okay, so I'm going to cut this at a little bit of an angle here. And finish off. Oh, look at that big glue glob. And here we go. Isn't that just precious? I just absolutely love this. And it's put a little more bling in the top. There's room here for something. Not sure what. But here we go. So thank you so much for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this and you'll make your own little music box. And I will see you in my next video. Hopefully I'll be able to get 1 or 2 more in before my craft room explodes. So anyway, I'll catch you next time. Let the serendipity find you. And please like and subscribe and leave me a comment because I do enjoy them. So have a great day, everybody. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.